come in. We're going to be taking our arms overhead and pulling down. We're going to, hello and good morning. There's the doggies. And then we're going to be adding on. So here we are lifting our heels. So as you come in, yes, I see everybody. There you go. So as we come in, we'll start with the inhale coming in the nose. We'll pull the arms down. Whoops. We're adding on the heel raise as well. We're trying to do it all at once to wake up the body. And pull. And take 5 more. There's Tabby. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Now we're going to place the band behind the upper back. The arms, I like to add I like to take that extra tension. There she is. And we're going to add on. Let me give you a couple of things you can do. You can push forward and then push wide. Now, so it's a pattern. I'm grabbing more band to make it harder, or if you need less, you can grab less band, out and in. Now, if you can make a little change, instead of the heel raises, you're welcome to take a squat. If that is not for you, then you can stay with your heels heavy or with your heels lifting. There you go. So we've got a dynaband. We're adding movement. Good morning. And pressing forward. So as we do this, the shoulders are down the back and the breath is inhale through the nose and it's still an exhale through the nose. So just take a couple more and then 1 more. You got it. Now we're going to take the band underneath our heel or heels. So if you have a tube with the handle, it rolls in your wrist, 1 foot or 2 feet, and then you're going to exhale. So it depends on your height, it depends on what tension of band you have. So some of you might have 2 heels in the middle of the band, some of you might have 1. Exhale, and if you have a dynaband without the elastic tubing grips, like the SPRIs have, then you might prefer a neutral grip where your thumb and your first finger are leading the way, kind of like a hammer curl. So as you're doing this, breathe in through the nose and breathe out through your nose. Now while we're doing this, we've got our posture cues on from the side, our ears in line with the shoulder. Our ribs have a little bit of an abdominal contraction here to pull the ribs down, and that prevents that low back from getting lordotic or overly swayed inward. So let's take 3 more here, and take 2 more here, and take 1 more here. You got it. Now we're going to take the band out. I'm going to take the screen higher, but you're going to have a band that goes behind you for a tricep. 1 hand is at the top. This is also called skull, shave the back of the head. So 1 hand's down here at your lumbar spine, and you're going to take a hold with the bottom arm. It's just an anchor. Your top arm is going to lengthen. You're shaving the back of your head. Exhale your elbow all the way long. Keep going. I'm just going to keep talking here. When your arm is overhead in life or here, is a tendency to do lordosis, but you don't want to. You want to gently rib tuck, and even the bottom abdominals where the pubic bone attaches, where the abs attach to the pubic bone, you want to pull up just a little so that you have a neutral low back, not a posterior tilt, but so your ribs are directly over the pelvis. So in life, when you're putting something away overhead, that's where you really want to be mindful that the low back could overly arch, and that's a bit hard on the spine. All right, here we go for 5 more. And 4, your triceps should be getting fatigued. 3, like you want to stop. 2, 1 more. Exhale. Now we're going to switch sides. Take that other hand up. The other hand is an anchor. So so that I don't trip on it, sometimes I'll grab a little extra here. The bottom arm is stable. The top arm is the mover. Now the breath. Breathe in the nose and breathe out. So I feel like I don't have enough, so I'm going to grab more tension, and that's all you have to do with the band is to make adjustments. But you do want to feel like you're going to be tired in the final reps, like you really couldn't do anymore. Elbow long. Jawline parallel. Here we go for 10 more. Knees are soft, especially if you tend to hyperextend and bend your knees backward. Good. Lengthen the elbow. So it should be getting harder now. 5 more. If it's getting too hard, give yourself a tiny bit of slack. Good. 3, really lengthen. 2, and 1. Really good job. Grab a sip. We try to drink about 8 ounces during the class. 8 to 12 ounces. Now we're gonna put our heel on that band. So the same side hand, same side foot. So for me, right hand, right heel. Now this is a unilateral move. You're going up to about shoulder height. You have a little bit of tone in your abs to help prevent the compensation that would happen if you weren't paying attention. Your shoulder, your deltoid is working, not your neck, and not your upper trap. So your shoulder blades are down the back even though you're lifting your humerus. Good, now we have 10 more. You would like to be fatigued towards that. I'm gonna add another cue. When you're lowering, make sure you're lowering and the band isn't whipping you back. So you're working the positive and the negative. Good, we love strong shoulders. Good, find a tension that feels like, it's kind of hard now. Getting tired. 2, but I don't compensate for them to get the job done. 1, other side, step on that band, heel, and out. All right, now we're gonna go over our cues. You're going to about shoulder height for most of us. If you have a shoulder injury that you need to care for, take ownership and make it right for you. Nothing should hurt. It should feel like a challenge in your muscles, but no pain. Your body is still stable. You're not doing any awkward leans to make this happen. Your knees are long but soft. For me, I have a little bit of ab tone right here and right here so that I don't get lordotic. So see what you need to keep your ribs over the pelvis. Neck and jaw are out of it. There's no tension there. Deltoid is in it. And we're gonna breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Full breaths. Take 4 more, neck soft. 3, fight the negative. 2, meaning you control the down. Nice, now we're gonna go to the other side, the right heel, or whatever heel you haven't done, on the lateral. Now we're going to the front. Now the first one, I can tell I have too light, so I'm gonna give more tension. So that's the beauty about the bands. Your wrist is neutral, so you're caring for your joint. In this one, make sure you're not turning your body. This is called an anti-rotational movement. So when it's a one limb movement, your body would want to turn, but you're not letting it. So you have a little tone and awareness. You got it. Making an appearance, Miss Astrid. We'll do 10 more. 9, 8, 7, knees soft. Everybody looks good. 6, corgi, 5, 4, 3, good. I like how I don't see any jaw tension. 2, or neck tension. And 1, let's boogie to the other side. So we just try to keep it going. Get a little bit of a heart rate as well going. And then 2. And you're a little more forward as long as your shoulder will allow it. Your arm can go a little bit more forward. Now the elbow is long. If it's too hard, there you go. Then just give yourself more tension, or less tension. 7, if it's too easy, give yourself more tension. 8, 9, good. You're preventing your body from twisting. 10, 11, see if you can continue the breath through your nose and out your nose. That's really important for immunity, really good for the parasympathetic system, which we can activate even though we're working out. So that calms the activity between the right and left brains. All right, we're doing 5 more. You look good. 4, look at these wonderful postures. 3, the head is back. 2, and then 1, looking good. Now grab a sip, and our challenge is going to be to sit down on the floor without using our hands. So I'm going to show one leg back, cross my foot, and then put my feet ahead. So functionally, you'd like to be able to get on and off the ground without using your hands. If you have 2 bands or 1 heavy one, I have a purple which is heavy. Hi, sweet girl. You can use the heavy or 2 bands. Cross the band like an X. Walk your hands on the tubing. Now I'm showing a seated posture on the floor. If your hamstrings and hips are tight, this is probably not comfortable. So grab a pillow, sit on a pillow or something that elevates your pelvis so that your back is able to get neutral and doesn't feel like you're rounding. So you want to be able to help yourself with a prop, a pillow, a block, so that you're able to sit upright. Sitting on the floor is hard work to keep your spine upright if your hips are tight. So we'll get to those later, but for now, give yourself a prop. All right, let's do 10 more. I am gonna add a supination to my hand grip, so let's pull our palms to face up, go neutral, And that involves more of the arm now. We do need grip strength that's related to longevity. All right, we need those lats, we need those biceps, and we need those rear deltoids. This is really good for the back and the posture muscles. Let's do 3 more, 2 more, and then 1 more. Now, I'm gonna just sit any way. You can sit whatever's comfortable. I'm gonna choose crisscross applesauce. That's really not important. The comfort is. Now you're adding on a stretch for your thoracic spine. The upper back rotation flexibility is critical to maintain a good posture. When this gets tight, people get rounded. So we're doing a posture stretch right now. Now open up the arms. Notice you're as tall as you can, and exhale the other way. Let your hands help you on the knee and the floor. Notice it's like you're wringing out a wash rag. You might be able to go a little deeper with that exhale. Make sure your ear's in line with your shoulder, your head's not drifting forward. And then when you're ready, return to center and have a medium or so band around your feet. Your heel arch is a good place. So wrap it, and you're gonna make sure you have even tails. Pull your arms beside you. Good, so we're starting with bands today, and then we're gonna go into some hand weights, but you can always interchange one for the other if you're traveling and you only have one, like you only have your bands or you only have your weights. So pull. Now I'm adding on a cue for the feet, which is spread the toes. I'll take my sockies off so you can see. But we need those feet to be agile. When they're agile and they're flexible, they absorb shock so that every time we walk, our back and our knees don't take that shock. So we're gonna add the spreading of the toes to help with our balance and to help with our shock absorption. These are trampolines on the bottom of our ankles, and they're meant to absorb shock every time we move. So take 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, and then 1. Now, just give your shoulders a little bit of a reprieve. We're gonna move right into rear deltoid. So open up. It's almost like you're hugging a tree backwards. And this one is rear deltoid and a little bit of scapular retraction. So a little bit of rhomboid, a little bit of that mid-trap. We need these muscles strong so that our shoulders don't roll forward. This is gonna be helpful to prevent rounded shoulders. Look, that your posture looks great. Betty, I can see yours from the side. Jean, that looks great. You might pull your head back just the tiniest bit. So when the head is an inch forward, it's about 13 extra pounds of pressure on the neck and about 32 pounds of pressure on the low back. So that's why it's really important if you catch yourself during the day with the head forward to pull it back and the ears in line with the shoulder. Back of the shoulders should be getting tired, and then let that go. Sit however you want. I'm gonna just sit crisscross applesauce, go up and over. Now this hand could be on the floor, or you could take it to your knee. Just see what works for you. Now the breath, breathe in through your nose, send it to the lateral rib cage. You want to expand the intercostal muscles between the ribs. The ribs are attached to the spine. So when you can breathe into the intercostals and expand them, you're creating space in the spine. The intervertebral disc now have a chance to get plump again. Rotate towards the floor. And then inhale, rotate towards the sky. So that was a little bit more QL, and this is a little bit more oblique. All this is helpful for the posture. And then when you come back, you might almost feel like this side's bigger. So let's take the other side, go up and over. Lateral flexion. Every day your back wants lateral flexion and rotation for stretches. There's 5 ways your back wants to be every day for general back health. This is one of them. Rotate down. Now you should feel like a little different stretch in the low back usually, and then rotate up. Usually this is more obliques, but we've all got different histories in our body, so just see how it feels to you. Breathe in, and then come back up, and then send those legs long. One more lengthened pose, and then we're gonna switch it up. So cross your rope like an X, put your elbows very close to your ribs, open up your forearms to the side. This is called external rotation. It's in almost every shoulder rehab exercise, but we're doing it prehab before we need it. Open, open, looking good. This also prevents rounded shoulders, And your forearms, if you glance at them, they're parallel to the floor. They're not going down on this one. You're parallel to the floor. That a girl. That's it. Notice how your shoulders are down the back still. This is that posterior deltoid, that infraspinatus, the teres minor, those muscles that help keep the shoulders from rounding forward. So all this is critical for posture. 5, good. Next soft. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, get rid of that for a minute. Grab a sip. We're going to do a touch of core. No weight. So what you'll do is put your elbows on the ground. Shift your body weight back. Now, if being on the toes is too hard, go to the flesh above your knees. But if you can, go to your toes. Now we're going to talk about this for a little bit. Make sure your head's not drooping. Make sure you're withdrawing the head as if you want your ear in line with the shoulder. Energize your knees. And on every exhale, feel the belly pull in as if you're putting on a tight pair of pants or you're getting ready to cough. That's your transverse abdominals. And hold. This is going to help the back and the abs. 5, 4, this helps prevent forward head syndrome. 3, 2, and then 1. Now your pelvis is here. This forearm down is called Sphinx. Notice how I glide the shoulders from my ears. If you can handle more, go swan, hands. Now I'm not collapsing in my low back. I have a little abdominal tone here. This is for the posture. We're going to do one more for the posture. This is a stretch. Now we're going to do the strength. So take your hands back and lift up your torso and lift up your toes and lift up everything you can. The ribs and the belly might be on the ground, but not much else. Now just breathe in and notice your back gets stronger and lifts up higher with the inhale. If this is too hard, leave your toes down to modify. My neck has no tension, so there is a temptation to look up, but you don't really want to. You want to just look a few inches ahead of you so your neck is neutral. 3, 2. Now on the 1, you can push back to a child's pose or to a down dog. I'll show you both. This is child's pose and this is down dog. So just take a moment, shake it out. Really good. All right, so we're going to stand up without using our hands. I'm going to show 1 foot forward, use your back leg, and then stand up. That's your goal. If you have to touch, count how many times you have to touch, and then that will get less. We're going to grab weights that allow us to go out into a lateral raise. So it'll probably be somewhere between 3 and 10, somewhere in there, or 3 and 9. Just see what you got. If you don't have any weights, grab a couple of cans of soup or something, gallons of water, but something. So we just look for creative solutions. So now we're doing both arms at the same time. We have a hand weight in each. If you weren't to have a weight, another thing you could do is just do the dynaband again. Good. Knees are soft but long. Now we're going to do a little slower on the way down. Good. So you've got this long wrist. We know grip strength is related to health span and longevity. Good. You look good. Your neck looks good. Ear looks good in line with the shoulder. That's good. Yeah, every now and then you can just shake your neck, and that's a way to make sure you're not holding any tension. The jaw is also soft. Breathe in the nose and breathe out the nose. Good. All right, take 4 more. So we know that muscle mass is the #1 predictor for bone density. So what we're doing is helping bones and muscles and the brain and the breath. We're doing it all. And now we're going to let those go. So I'm going to give us a stretch on the 1 foot. So we're doing 2 things at once. Lift and spread your toes. Put a foot in the air. If this is new, you could do low. If you feel better, go to your inner thigh. Now we're adding on a stretch. Can you interlace your fingers at the low back? Let me turn so you can see what I mean. Interlace the fingers at the low back and open the arms. So we're doing a stretch and we're doing one-legged balance. One-legged balance is critical to prevent falls. You got it. Breathe in and then lower. We're going to take the other side, lift and spread your toes, 1 foot up. And then interlace and stretch behind you. Good. Head back. Sometimes your dominant mover leg is weaker in balance than your other leg. So just notice. All right, we're going to let that go. Perfect timing. I was coming out. All right, now we're going to do an overhead press. So a weight that allows you to lift your arms overhead. It's important to be able to lift your arms overhead. You do not want to stop that motion. So we're going to take probably 3 to 10 pounds, somewhere in there, 3 to 9 pounds. So you're going to go up. Now, up with your exhale and lower. When your arms are overhead, is that okay? Yeah, if not, you can do the lateral raise that we just did and keep the arms low. There you go. Good. You do want to be able to move your arms overhead. Even if you've had old shoulder injuries, you don't want to leave out movements, or your body won't be able to do those movements anymore. So even if you have to take the weight out. All right, back to the overhead lesson. When your arms are overhead, sometimes your low back will get lordotic or arched, so you want to feel your abs preventing this low back arch that could happen without your intervention. Same thing when you're putting something away in the garage up high. You want to make sure you're not getting lordotic more than neutral. Yeah, batted girl. So if you have to rest, rest, and then come back. We're doing 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, and you're breathing in your nose and out your nose. 2, you're going to try to breathe in your nose and out your nose all day if you can, unless you're at high respiratory rates, like you're mountain biking up a hill or something. On this next one, this is cow face pose. Hold on to your fingers if you can. If you cannot, grab a dynaband and use a dynaband. Lift up a foot, dynamic balance, 3 circles. So dynamic balance is also critical for not falling. 3 the other way, try not to touch the floor. Feel your abs help you, and then lower. And notice I'm working the foot. So I want to be able to point and flex that foot fully so we don't shuffle. So you want to point, flex. It's also going to help you absorb shock when you walk. You want flexible ankles. We know that's related to low back pain when they're tight. 2, really point and flex. Dynamic, good job. This is a knocking on the door of life Qigong move. This will help release tension in the body. Good, nice. Grab a sip and we're gonna do a little bicep curl. So you could do heavier here. In fact, I'll show you, you could do 5 to 12 probably, or 5 to 10. Now I'm gonna show you how you can finish out a set. So this is just a single joint move. I do still like it. A lot of times we like to do bigger movements, but it is nice for picking up groceries. It is nice for picking up items, farmer market, just picking up things, laundry, whatever. 7. And I'm going to show you how you can lighten the weight. Good. So you can take a hammer curl if that helps your wrist, or you can take a suminated grip. You can mix it up. So let's say I'm getting, oh my gosh, that's too heavy now. All you have to do, put those down, grab the next closest weight you've got that's a little lower, and you keep on going. Because the weight that you have, you're going to build into, and you're going to get stronger. So you might have to change your weight some of the time. Good. Make sure at the bottom, you're not hyperextending the elbows. You've got a little softness in them. Good. Looking good. 3, 2, you got it. And 1. All right, let's get rid of that. And you're gonna take either prayer pose front. So here's prayer pose front, like this, or prayer pose back, like this. Nice. Now I'm going to add on a balance pose with this. That's a little harder because we shift our vestibular system. So you'll lift up your foot and you'll hinge. Try to hold for 6. Go to parallel if you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then gracefully come back. Let's do the other side. Lift and spread your toes. Breathe in. Exhale. As your leg goes up, your torso goes forward. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, square your hips, 2, and on the 1. Whew, nice job. Can we do one more? Yeah, let's do a tricep press. So this one looks like this behind your head. Now you could take one heavier weight like a 15 or a 12 pound, or you could take 2 lighter weights like 2 5s, but you are going to take that behind your head. Let's say you take 2 5s or so, then you would touch them together for a little bit of proprioceptive help. If you're struggling with an old shoulder injury, you might prefer to do wall push-ups where your elbows are narrow. Good. Looks good. And looks like you've got your ribs pulled down. And let's breathe. Last 5. Let it down. Really good. You did great. And then we are going to do a set of wall push-ups. So you could do this on the wall where you bend your elbows and push away. Elbows narrow. You can also do this on the floor, hands and knees. You could also do this hands and knees further away. Take 15 or so of whatever you're doing. And then take a child's pose when you're ready. Nice. Really good. Yeah, there you go. Inhale. And then exhale, come back up with no hands, 1 foot. I'm gonna sneak in one more. Grab a couple of 5s or so, and we're gonna go forward 10 reps. So up. Are you getting a little cardio workout? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, energizing all the body, 8, 9, and 10. Really good. Okay, let that go. And this is half moon. Now, if you would like, cross one foot over the other, then take your arm up. Now, you can add a rotation down. Breathe in. And a rotation up. Breathe in. Let's go to the other side. This is a great stretch you can do anytime. Cross your foot if you'd like. If that's too hard, just leave your feet normal. And then inhale, rotate down. And then inhale, rotate up. Look how good. Let me give you a little back stretch to go. Flexion, extension. If you are just feeling tight, like you've been standing in one place, this is a great little stretch you can do for your back without even getting on the floor. Yep, and even if it doesn't feel like it's moving, it'll get better. And then roll up. Now, big breath up, inhale, and exhale. We're gonna inhale to look for all the appreciations in our world. Exhale to soak in all the beauty of the day. And let nothing, no one, or no circumstance knock us from our high-flying place. With so much appreciation to your wellness, have a beautiful day.